It's crunch time here. The atmosphere is electric.
This is where champions are made. The tension is so thick here, you could cut it with a sharp instrument.
And Pastor Verbosity just gave an MVP caliber ask.
Now we just have to see how the crowd responds.
This Usher team is a solid group of veterans, and they have a nice mix of lefties.
They've instituted a new system recently. The triangle wasn't working, so they went to the rhombus flex.
Yeah, we have a disturbance.
This is huge. This could be a huge momentum killer.
Miller moves in with authority. What a move. And look at that quickness. He's a great role player. It's hard to believe they acquired him in a trade with the Methodists for a dozen hymnals and some cash considerations.
That is a bargain.
That's big.
He's got great lateral usher utility.
The man can ush. This is a great passing team. They always bring their A game.
Yes, they are very accurate, and they minimize turnovers and interceptions.
That's right, Tav. This year they've switched to the antenna plate, which actually holds 20% more than last year's plates. As you can see, it offers greater width and depth and a healthy dose of stickum for fewer drops. And the credit card swipe is a new innovation as well. Looks like there'll be fewer declines than ever.
Looks like Robinson's crowding the plate, and the usher backs him off. And the plate passes by the Stuckies. Nothing.
No surprise there. They're shooting a very low percentage.
The Stuckies are 0 for October. Wait a second, we may have a violation here. Let's go to replay. Can we get a different angle of that?
Watch this guy. His hand passes over the plate, but boom, nothing. He doesn't actually put anything in. Right there. Look at it. Look at it.
That is big.
The air ball. Talk about it.
Oh, you guys must have had a bad angle. I always give 110%. At least 10%.
What's up, family? This is Pastor Pierce. I'm checking in for our Wednesday night Discipleship 101. I'm trying to see how I'm feeling right now because I kind of want to wear my hat backwards, and I think I am. It's just how I'm feeling. It's just been that kind of day. All right. But listen, first of all, thank you for kicking it with us tonight. This is session 5, part 2 on stewardship. All right. This is our 5th session. Here's what I mean. So we've covered Bible study. We've covered prayer. We've covered worship. We've covered service. And now we're closing out with stewardship. Man, you asked for it. So with the Lord's help, I've tried my best to make some things clear to you. And let me say this. This is not the end. This is just a starting point, right? It is my responsibility and our goal to walk with you and to make sure you have a clear understanding, or as close to a clear understanding as you can possibly get while you're under my leadership, all right, concerning these things. So, man, listen, thank you for rocking with us. This is, again, part 2 for stewardship, all right? As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share, make some comments, get it out to your family and friends that may want to check this out, all right? But tonight is not going to be very, very long. It's going to be short. You know, part 2s are never as long as the first parts. But at the conclusion of part 1, we talked about this storehouse thing, right? And we also talked about the best decision. Like, that was a little preview that I gave as I was ending last week. Well, this storehouse thing, in Malachi chapter 3, God is talking to his people, right? And he's talking to them about returning, right? And so what they ask him is, okay, how do we return? And so God goes into this thing where he says, you're robbing me. And so they're like, what? Robbing you? And so God is basically saying, yeah, you're robbing me with your tithes. And so what God is basically telling them, one of the ways that you can return to me is by doing what you are supposed to do concerning how you give, right? And so that brings up a controversial question with respect to financing the kingdom, right? Where should we give our tithes? Here it is. In the book, we saw that God told them, he said, bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Okay, that there may be food in my house. Now, in the Old Testament, the tithe, either in animal or produce, was brought to a central location, which was their storehouse, which was managed by the Levites. These were the priests. The whole tithe from the whole nation was brought into this single receiving place, and then was distributed by the Levites according to the needs of the people. Here it is. It wasn't going on material things. It wasn't being wasted. It was going for the benefit and the needs of the people. This verse has often been used to teach what we call storehouse giving. Those who do, now this is a writer helping me with this. He says, those who do so view the church building or the church congregation or a denomination as a storehouse into which Christians should bring their gifts to God. Some go as far as to say that it is wrong for Christians to give to the Lord in ways that bypass the local church or their denomination. For example, if you skip paying your tithes to your local church, but you rather decide you would rather give them to like a missionary. So some people see it as wrong if you skip the local church and give directly to a missionary or maybe someone who's teaching in a foreign land. Okay. Another writer states that this viewpoint fails to appreciate the difference between Israel's temple and Christian churches. Israel's temple was a depository for the gifts that the Israelites brought to sustain the servants and work of the Lord throughout their nation. But the Christian church, however, is different in that we have no central sanctuary as Israel did, nor does the church have a national homeland. Christians live and serve throughout the world, in contrast to the Israelites who were to fulfill their mission by serving God within their land. Here it is. So, what does this mean for us? I believe when it comes to tithing, tithing is the 10%. That's our starting point. But this verse has been used to urge Christians to tithe. However, the new covenant, which we're under, never specifies an amount or percentage that we should give back to God out of what he has given us. Rather, it teaches that we should give regularly, sacrificially, as the Lord has prospered us, and do it joyfully. This is what 2 Corinthians chapter 9 around verse 7 is talking about. So when you're giving, no one should have to force you. No one should have to pressure you, ask you a million times. God is more concerned with the condition of your heart. What place are you giving from? Like, are you giving out of joy? Are you excited about giving to God? Or do you have an attitude? Because here it is. At the end of the day, God doesn't need our money, right? But the local church, we take tithes and offering to further the kingdom mission. All right. That's what it should be used for. Right. So in harmony with the principle of grace, that marks the present dispensation. Here it is. The Lord leaves the amount that we give back to him unspecified and up to us. Here it is. If you have $1 million and your heart is set on giving $10, that's between you and God. If you have $10 and you want to give the whole 10, that's between you and God. No one has the right to tell you what to give. That amount is between you and God. Now, the church has needs, and there are missions out there. There are organizations that need help, right? And so when we ask, or when they ask, It should be from a sincere place, and the challenge is up to you to lock in with God and see how he's leading you to give. All right. The best decision, here it is. The Bible teaches that we are to invest in the kingdom of God. And these are different writers just helping me with different thoughts. The Bible teaches that we are to invest in the kingdom of God. And I really believe that that is the best investment that we can make. Okay. Because it has eternal returns. These returns are not just for us, but also for our families, our children, your grandchildren, those that will come after you. This generation of Christians must invest in the things of God for the sake of the next generation. In doing this, we follow Jesus's word when he says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. What a blessing. We don't have to worry when we take care of God's business here on earth. He's going to take care of it all when we do right by him. Right. So let me encourage you, when you are going through your resources and allocating resources, think about how you can invest in God's kingdom. OK, that includes your time, your labor, your equipment, and your money. That's how we support the ministry of Christ. We don't beg, but it's a fact that's how we move things forward by the grace of God. If you return to God what he asks of you, then you can enjoy the rest as long as you use it wisely. Here it is. Additionally, whatever you do, do it for the glory of God, not man, not trying to please people, not trying to just play this part of, trying to be this, what y'all call it, this uppity person. No, we do it for the glory of God. He's called us to it, and I believe we can do it. All right. That's it. Check this out. Don't forget this Sunday, meet me at the church. I need you here by 9 a.m. Those of you that are going to rock with us going over to the Greater Emmanuel Church, the bus will be here and we will pull out about 9:40. OK, if you're going to ride the bus, I need you here by 9 so we can properly load when the van gets here, and we can pull out between 9:30 and 9:40. OK, and then after that service, we're going to ride back here, and we will have pizza ready for you. It'll probably be like a grab and go type deal. But the adults should be finishing up church by the time we get back. So it's perfect timing. All right. If you're going to drive, meet us there. The flyer is posted on all of our social media platforms. Check it out. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook at Greater Life Students. And let me see. Oh, yeah. Next week, there will be no Wednesday night discipleship 101. OK, not next week. We're going to take a week off, and then we're going to dive into a new series for our Wednesday nights. OK, hope you've enjoyed this time. As always, if you have any questions, hit us up. I look forward to seeing you Sunday at 9 a.m. so we can ride to Greater Emmanuel, or if you're going to meet us there. All right. Your support is always appreciated. Until next time, peace.